Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay is calling for Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder for his removal.
Yeah, he made those remarks during a one-day NFL League meeting in Manhattan on Tuesday. Snyder is the subject of two National Football League investigations and a congressional inquiry into allegations of rampant sexual harassment of female employees within the organization. Irsay's comments are the first of their kind from any league owner. He says that the league needs to act given the situation, and the Snyders should sell the franchise. Well, Ken Belson is a reporter covering the NFL for the New York Times and joins us now. Good to have you. So Jim Irsay was the first team owner to publicly call for Dan Snyder's removal. What would need to happen to have Snyder actually removed as owner of the Washington Commanders, and how likely is it that that could actually happen?
Well, the first part, the logistics, it takes a vote of at least 24 out of the 32 owners, so that's three-quarters of them. But even before they get there, they have to have a kind of proceeding, I guess, a sort of internal tribunal of sorts to go through whatever the evidence is. And then, there'd be a lot of owners who would, weigh that evidence yet again. The league and most leagues, frankly, are legal organizations. And so they're very wary and want to make sure that they have whatever case buttoned down so that they don't get countersued later. So there's a fairly high bar even in their internal processes. And then in answer to your second question, how likely, I would say quite unlikely. It's never been done, certainly in the NFL. There have been owners who have been suspended, including Jim Irsay at one point, and have been pushed out and have handed over control of the team to family members. But it's an extraordinarily high bar for the owners to want to vote somebody out.
Ken, the NFL is conducting a second investigation into Snyder's alleged rampant sexual harassment of the team's female employees. What more do we know about the status of that investigation and how it's unfolding?
Yeah, the first investigation ended in July of 2021. The league did not release the findings. They just had a couple of bullet points, and they had a phone call with reporters, and that was pretty much it. And that led to a lot of questions that the league was burying, some embarrassing details. Nobody really knew or doesn't know specifically what they were, but there was the suspicion that the league was hiding something. And so that prompted eventually a congressional inquiry. And during that congressional inquiry started at the beginning of this year, more witnesses came forward and made more allegations against the team. And that forced the NFL to start a second investigation into the new allegations. And that's ongoing. The league has not said when it will be completed. The person they hired, Mary Jo White, is a former prosecutor, a very well-regarded lawyer. But there is no timeline as of yet. It's hard to sort of read the tea leaves. They may be waiting until the end of the season. It is not the first time, or wouldn't be the first time, for the league to try and put embarrassing news on the other side of the Super Bowl to limit the distractions.
Yeah. Ken, the situation within the Washington Commanders organization is shining a light on sexual harassment and workplace harassment on a much larger scale. What responsibility does the league feel to set an example?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, that was Jim Irsay's point, is that the NFL isn't just a sports league. It's kind of an NFL is sort of the U.S. institution of sorts, for better or for worse, even if you're not a football fan. And so his argument is that the NFL should do better and have higher standards than even some business organizations. And so therefore, it's incumbent on the league to combat things like sexual harassment in the workplace and set an example for others. There have been allegations about sexual harassment within the NFL headquarters in stories that I've written. So it's not a problem limited to the Washington franchise, but the scale of the problem in Washington is much larger than's been reported anywhere else. And I think that's where the pressure point comes. And I do feel other owners are like Jim Irsay. They feel the NFL should stand for more than just sports, and they should hold themselves to a higher standard. Whether that means they should throw out a fellow owner is a completely different question.
Ken Belson, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure, my pleasure.